the God of the vengeful reincarnation.
Yes,
God. When you pray to him, what's that like?
We just pray in general. We don't ask for anything in general, just or in specific, just because there's a specific God. You can pray for whatever you want, or just go in there and then you can just meditate in there too. You see people just sitting in there, just looking to like to clean their mind or to get away from the world.
So how long would typically that last?
It depends on the person. Like my uncle, he's very devout, so he would probably be in there for half an hour to 45 minutes. For me, I go in there and I'm in there for 5 minutes.
Wow. And you've been doing this for how long?
Ever since I can remember.
How old are you now?
I'm 18.
18. So for 18 years, basically. Fascinating. And so multiple gods, you're saying millions.
Yes, sir.
Within the whole context of Hinduism.
Yes, sir.
And he told me that there's some branches of Hinduism that hold that there's one overarching God that all these other ones come out of. That there's one that has authority.
Yes, sir.
Fascinating.
What's the goal like after death? Is there like a goal that you're trying to get to, or?
Well, we get reincarnated depending on your past life. So if you committed sin, let's say, then you'll be reincarnated as something less. You know, you could be reincarnated into something as simple as grass. You'll be reincarnated into a cat, a dog, or whatever. So it depends on how you lived in your past life. So
it's all about work. It's all about works.
Yes, sir. So like according to me, in my past life, I probably would have done something good to be reincarnated into like a human again. And then you get reincarnated until you reach like that level of like utopia per se.
Is that Nirvana?
No, that's more Buddhism.
Sorry.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing. I'm like,
no, it's fine.
Okay.
But Buddhism came out of Hinduism.
Okay.
So it's like more of like
perfection, or like what is it? It's a
you can say it's a sense of perfection, just like being one with the world finally, that you don't have to be reincarnated and yet like get out of that reincarnation cycle of life, death, and rebirth.
So what's the next highest level before you actually get there? Is it human being, or is it giraffe above? I would like to be a giraffe.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. It's fascinating
I think
to me.
like mice and cows are above humans.
Yeah,
right?
because like cows are religious to us.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's why they
that.
don't
That's
eat.
why we don't eat beef.
Why?
Why the cow?
Because the cow, like basically we think gives life because you get milk from the cow.
Because you get milk, meat. Well, you don't eat.
Yeah, we don't eat meat, but we get milk from the cow, and that's what we see as religious. And if you look at most of our gods, they're sitting on cows.
Fascinating. So even the statues.
Yes, sir.
So when what was the 8-arm one?
Yes, sir. I'm Jambit. I'm Majima.
Is she sitting on the cow?
Yeah, she's sitting on the cow.
Fascinating.
Really?
You writing all this down?
Yeah, I don't know.
Am I going to be able
and
to
I'm
read
sure
any of that?
you've heard, like you've been around some Christians and stuff, and you probably like, what is your impression of like what Christianity is all about? Like,
I believe in Christianity too. Like I believe in your beliefs because I just took a religion class, and I was interested, which is why I took that religion class. And everything, like I believe in Jesus. I believe in like that he was a factual person, and like I believe all the stories. Like I'm interested. I read the story of Adam and Eve, and all that, like the 2 creation stories and everything.
So would you say? I'm going to ask a question here that may seem a little.
Oh, go ahead.
I would say Hinduism and Christianity are in opposition to each other.
Yes, sir.
How would you reconcile those two things? They can't both be true.
Yes, sir. That's how some people would be like devout Christian, some people devout Hindu. I don't like necessarily just like block one out and believe in one. I just take ideas from all. So you can kind of say that you're sort of agnostic, like you believe in everything, but
I don't know if agnostic.
An agnostic would say, I believe there may be a God, but I don't believe he has any.
Yeah.
I don't keep myself to like one religion. Like I am a Hindu and I like associate myself with Hinduism, but I don't necessarily not believe in anything else, And that's why I like taking religion class. I take into consideration everything. I want to hear about the different stories that everyone has.
So you wouldn't try to you're okay with the tension of
Yes, sir.
like I don't want to offend you.
No,
This is
it's
what I
fine.
would say.
Yeah.
I would say, I think what you believe is wrong.
Yeah.
Is that, you find that offensive?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right.
Because everyone has a different viewpoint. So,
Okay,
yeah.
so would you look at my Christianity and say, I think that's wrong?
Not at all.
Okay.
I guess that depends more on how you're raised. Like if you ask my grandparents, and they would say you're wrong completely. But that's fine. But
So you think it's probably a generational
Yes,
thing?
sir.
So you said you were 20.
Yes.
Okay.
So like you gain moral understanding, I say, because like if you were born in India, raised in India, you have temples everywhere, So if you come to America and you experience Christianity, you would think, wow.
Church on every corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially in Macon. We have
That's true. In Macon, that's right. There's a big church on every corner.
Statesboro, Georgia.
So I guess it depends on how you're raised.
I mean, I think that like from what you're saying, and I haven't heard a whole lot, but just like a general impression. You're saying our performance, our works, how good we do in our current life is going to determine our afterlife, whether we get in a better position later or a worse position. And my understanding of Christianity that I would say makes it different from what you're saying is the idea that like we don't believe that like by being good we can get to like a better positive afterlife. Like our understanding is everybody's flawed, which you probably would agree with that.
Yeah,
like, no one's
in fact,
perfect.
he agrees with me. He's one of the few people I've run into that said, tell him what you said. Everybody
lies.
Yeah,
this is my guy right here. This is my guy.
The one guy telling the truth is saying everybody lies.
The one man that's the truth teller.
And the guy saying nobody lies is the guy telling the most lies.
Exactly.
So like we think like no one's perfect, but it's not just our good deeds outweighing our bad deeds or something like that. We think that like there's no hope for us left to ourselves.
Right.
And so the idea that Jesus came not just as a prophet or like as a good example or a nice guy or a good teacher, but he came actually to do for us what we couldn't do for ourselves. Like he lived the life that all of us have failed to live. He was actually perfect. I wasn't. And he dies on the cross, and at that point, he's getting the punishment of a criminal. Like the crucifixion is a pretty bad way to go. And he's basically receiving at that point like what I deserve, what everybody deserves, which is like the capital punishment basically for sin. And so the Christianity is saying, Jesus is saying, I'm going to come do for you what you couldn't do for yourself, and I'm going to rescue you from your sin and from your own like mistakes. So nobody on their own would make it to heaven and the next level left to themselves. But Jesus, because of what he's done, actually opens that door so that if I repent and believe in him, I can get to heaven on his merit, not on my own merit. Like, what do you think when you hear that? What do you think?
I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. I've heard that before too. I'm sure y'all see the YouTube videos about why the guy that hates religion but he loves Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember when he said like Jesus took everyone's sins and he died on the cross.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, how does that not feel in tension with what you're saying from Hinduism about you?
Like you go to temple, so you. It just seems like an incredible amount of tension there with
serving multiple
I've got to
gods.
work, I got to pray to these 10 gods, but I don't have to because Jesus. You see that?
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, the tension. I mean, for me, I don't like try to think too much into that. Like, yeah, I know Christianity exists, like Islam exists, whatever, Judaism, but I don't like try to see tension in between. I just do what I was raised to do.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Do you believe there's an absolute truth?
What do you mean?
Like when I hear Hinduism and Christianity, I see two.
Like overarching.
So if they can't both be true, is what I would say. So there has to be one of those has to be true.
Yeah.
And one's not.
Like,
it depends on your viewpoint. But overall, like if there was like one definitive answer, I don't think you would ever know because everyone has their own viewpoints, and you would never know if there was like one overarching truth. Like Christianity was right, Hinduism was right.
But like take like that. We're talking about spiritual realities. Let's talk about physical for a second. If I believe that there's not a downed tree in the road after a storm, and I just believe with all my heart there's no tree there, and I drive down the road and there's a tree there, I'm going to hit it whether I believe it's there or not. And so like concrete, like real, like so I believe that like in the physical world I can believe something and be actually wrong about it. And I believe in the spiritual world there's something similar. I believe in the spiritual world I can believe something with all my heart is true, and then it not be true, or it actually be true. And so I feel like we have no problem saying, you check the road before you walk across. Because if a bus is coming, it's not going to be you and the bus. It's going to be you or the bus. It's going to survive that.
That's good.
So like, if that's true in a physical world, why wouldn't that be true in a spiritual world? And like, couldn't there be truth that we can be right or wrong about spiritual reality?
Yes. So what would you say to that?
He just punches me in the face and I'm bleeding out my nose.
Prove the fact.
No, I'm kidding.
That's a really good question. Like in that survey, I was like, wow, like I never thought of that. Like,
thank you for. I mean, I know you got 1,000 things better to do than
it's fine. No,
and let me pick your brain about Hinduism. But I literally have never had a conversation with a guy that's articulated as well as you. So thank you.
No problem. You make a really good point, so I'm not even sure how to answer that. So what are you trying to say, like, difference between, like, the physical world and spiritual world? Like, if you believe in something and then it happens.
If the physical thing is reality, it's also possible then that in spiritual reality, we would say this, that there's spiritual reality that's just as real.
Things that are true whether I believe it or
whether
not.
we believe it or not.
The tree is in the road whether I believe it's there or not.
Whether you believe it's there. So
there has to be like an overarching truth. Like there's a truth to everything, but I mean we would never know that, because I'm sure if we didn't know that truth, then it would create chaos because someone would end up being wrong,
Okay, all right. You said the wrong word. That's good. What we would believe then, and this is, I think, kind of the definitive thing that may be separating what we're saying is, I would say Christianity is the truth. It is that ultimate truth.
Yeah. That we can't save ourselves by our good works, and Jesus could save us by His good works.
Right.
That's either true or false, is what I'm trying to argue. So like either that's true or it's not. So like if that's not true, we should all not be Christians and reject it because it's a false view. But if it is true, everybody needs to believe it because it's like that's the way.
Yeah. Right. And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
To make that.
Like so to put it as like this is gonna sound like controversial and whatever. But like if every religion is like a bridge trying to get over the gap to God, I'm saying all of the bridges are out and one works and it's Jesus. That's very controversial.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying like either that's true or that's not true.
Right.
Like either that bridge is going to work and it's going to hold your weight or it won't.
And our argument would be there's one bridge.
Exactly.
And every other bridge you're going to get halfway across and there's not going to be a bridge.
Yeah. So what does that sound like when you hear that? What does that sound
offensive?
like?
Is that
Oh, not offensive to me at all. That doesn't offend me at all because I mean everyone has their different viewpoints, and if Jesus was the answer, then obviously like it would create chaos, because people that have been following like Hinduism or Islam for like thousands of years ever since the world was created, they come to find out that it was wrong. So how would like their old world would break apart, But they wouldn't know how to follow Christianity because they don't know what's right or wrong anymore.
That's okay, let me add on to that. So like Jesus, a lot of people in our culture just say he's a good teacher, he's a good prophet, but he's not the only way to God. Like a lot of people say that. And I'm saying there's a reason that he was murdered.
Yeah.
It was the things he was saying. It wasn't that he was going around doing bad stuff. He was doing good stuff, but he was saying things about himself that were so radically offensive. He's saying, he says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah. No one comes to God except through me. I'm the only bridge in town that's still holding up.
Yeah.